Good morning, it's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And I am in beautiful Granite Hills, El Cajon, California on an amazing property. And today, in addition to playing with chickens, we are going to work on staging pots. We're working with a client that has, I don't know if she has the heart of a designer and the head of a collector, or the head of a designer and the heart of a collector, but we are going to integrate her pots into a very pretty design. So enjoy the ride today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Here's a really fun little vignette in the backyard. This pygmy date palm is basically covering up the attenuata underneath it. So I'm going to limb it up a little bit to expose the pretty faces of the agaves. You can see here that we have a very desiccated pot of crassula. What I'm going to do, look how it just broke off. I'm going to take this plant and move it over to the Garden of Death, which here is a shady spot where this plant can just winter in coolness, and then next year when the temps drop, we'll go ahead and pot it back up again. Look at the petalanthus. It is running amok. Don't like this look, and we definitely don't want to see strapping tape around it. So I'm going to cut this up and stage and propagate and stage pieces against the back wall in the hopes that we can get a nice solid line growing across here. Look at the fabulous donkey tail. Isn't that wonderful? I wouldn't change a thing there. And the crassula campfire has got a little bit leggy, and we could work on pruning this up and making it look a little more presentable. And I've got a really great idea for this blue pot. As you all know, I definitely identify myself as a designer, but I have absolute respect for you collectors. I will say this though, collect away, but make sure that the stuff that you have in your pots looks spot on. Make sure that your plants are healthy and well top dressed. So this is hodgepodge, run-amucky, not looking good. So I'm going to take all of these plants out and rework them and top dress them so that they absolutely pop and are shown to their greatest advantage. Now here's the heart of a collector. We've got beautiful pots. Some are staged with beautiful plants, but they're not displayed the most attractively. See how they're just all lined up along this wall. So I am going to work at identifying which plants need to be preserved and which plants maybe need to come out or be treated or be top dressed. You know, like this little agave, Victoria Reginae. This is a great plant, and I like the pot choice because all of these swirls kind of mirror the swirling of the plant, but it is in dire need of some rock top dressing, isn't it? Just planted in dirt doesn't quite look finished. So we'll take care of that. Well, it's amazing what a little ingenuity, creativity, rocks, and gravel can do for a landscape. Here's this wonderful completed flower bed. The only changes that I really made were to limb up the pygmy palms. I limbed up the petalanthus and restaged it. I put burgundy lava rock over all the spots that were showing dirt. We staged this wonderful Monet bench in here. All the way around, if you want to flip, Greg, you can see the beautiful aloe cameronii that Greg potted up in that empty blue pot. Then as we move around, I'll show you some other things that we did. We staged 3 new pots here. This is Petalanthus macrocarpa. This is different from the Brachytus that is over, under, and around the bench. It's a smaller, more compact variety, and they had accidentally mixed it in with the other, and it looked a little off. So we pulled it out, put it in its own pot. We've got some little seed and pork and beans and a wonderful little stressed aloe. All of these plants are going to thrive in this hot El Cajon heat of summer. Now, some things that might not thrive in the heat, we put underneath this wonderful pergola. Now remember, my homeowner is a collector as well as a designer, so I chose specimens that would complement the beautiful pottery that she has collected from various places throughout her life. Many of these little rock top dressings she had available for me to use as well. Over here we have a collection of tillandsias, a stapella, and a beautiful purple cactus, all top dressed and put into really, really pretty companion pots. Now you may remember at the beginning of the video there were all kinds of pots lined up along this wall. Well, some of them I set aside to be put in the garage and used later. Others I took the plants out, grouped things together, moved things around, and then staged them in tight little compact groupings. I found this wonderful wrought iron chicken in a flower bed, and I just planted a little agave Victoria Reginae, and the client had these wonderful little gold nugget rocks that I thought looked a little bit like chicken feed, top dressed with some white creva, and here we have a really cute little display that obviously will need no fuss and no muss. All of these pots here were along the wall. I just grouped them all together very attractively. Same with all of these pots. We added some pretty top dressings and cleaned up the plants. Remember, if it's going to be in a pot, it needs to look good. Laura's rule of thumb. And have fun with your top dressings too. Then this grouping over here, again, I just took plants that were kind of scattered all hodgepodge around the garden, cleaned them all up, top dressed them, and arranged them so that she can have her collectible plants and still have a garden that feels like a designer's. This has been Laura Eubanks reporting from Granite Hills in El Cajon, California with your succulent tip of the day.